Yeah. Soul food. That's what it feel like. Yeah. We're going from Macon to the nations with this one. My God is up north and I ain't talking about New York. He sits on top of the world and the angels sing, you are holy. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son, and he is the truth, no phony. Homie, me no more, Mr. Lonely, cause I belong to the rock. Not that you're on it, Satan, hating, roaming around daily like a roaring lion. 1 Peter 5:8 and 9 and 10. If you have ears, listen. He trying to catch us flipping like a bad transmission. You wanna leave us reprobate, broke, blind, cripple. He came to seek and destroy like missiles, but Jesus come to kill life in that more abundantly. Took them shackles off my feet, no more living in bondage. I'm more than a conqueror, so Satan cannot conquer me. In the name of Jesus, I rebuke Satan, get under me, under my feet, underneath the authority he gave me. Ephesians 2:8, by grace he saved me, through faith a gift from God. Every day Christmas 365. Not only December 25th, but January, February I march like a soldier. April, May I introduce you to Jehovah. June, July, August, September it getting colder. October, November, December, whoa, bruh. Good ain't good enough, my God so great. And he is love, 1 John 4:8. And he is real, too real, no fake. And he is alive, read Luke 24, hey. He's risen, he's lit it. He keep me caught with no key to turn off the ignition. My gas ain't been full since the day that I submitted to the bishop of my soul, and my sins were acquitted. I'm breathing, so I give him praise. Psalm 150. He keep me covered in the blood, my body got no witness. Yo, get me, I lift him higher than 4 Phillies. He's so good, y'all bad boys so did it. But he will show no pity to those that didn't believe him, who didn't receive him, who said they don't need him. You need to pump your brakes and give your life to Christ to save in case he comes today. Yeah, I was in the trenches, jumping fences, chasing riches in Chuck Taylors and Dickens. I was getting paid but wasn't paying attention. Ready to die like Biggie, but now I'm really living. Listen, I had no plans to stop fishing until every fish in the pond is in his possession. So whether I'm with the gang or by myself, I'ma rep the king, and that's to the last breath. Missionary.
Right, all right. That was OG Bruh Mike, man. His album just was released. Was that last week or the week before last, man? He's doing some major thing that on the track like a train is the actual title of that album. And it is, when I say I had the whole album on repeat, he reminds me or puts me in the mind frame of Lil Wayne voice wise. So but he definitely has some lyrics that'll get your attention, get anybody attention, actually speak the words, speak the gospel, and encourage and empower in the faith, man. So I encourage y'all to go out and get that album. That's OG Bruh Mike, man. This is your girl Dr. T, and you're tuned in live to Beyond the Beat, man, every Friday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, whether it's live or on replay, man. Y'all got us right here on the You First Media Network, man. Listen, today is a special day for me. As most of you guys know, I released a new project this week. And let me put it up on the screen, man. I released this, Never Forget Why. It was rated number 1 on the Amazon's hot new release list in the Christian gospel music section. And since then, since the official release on Wednesday, man, we were bestseller in 4 different categories. So big ups to y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for the support. I want to really get into this topic and why I wrote this book. This was actually a book that I spoke about on a couple of podcasts that I was on. And a lot of people were like, what do you mean God told you to write it in 2 weeks? I don't know. God told me to write it in 2 weeks. So I did exactly what he said. And I put a release date on it. It was done, completed, cover to cover, just like he told me to do. And I was getting it edited and ready for you guys to release on my birthday. So we did just that in obedience. And I will say this, I've read it a couple of different times. It is a shorter read. So you guys have no excuse talking about it's too long. There's a lot of meat inside of that word, and that's what it's all about. Are you getting something from this? Never forget why I got some people on with me tonight, all of my co-hosts tonight, and we're going to talk about this topic, what it means, why this is so important. And I'm gonna go ahead and introduce them. Man, we got an hour, and y'all know we can't fit everything we really want to say in this particular conversation in 1 hour. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the crew on. This is co-host Mr. Church, man.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, man? Your neighborhood big bro, Mr. Church, man, in the building. What's up, Dr. T?
Yeah, what's up, man? What's up? I'm ready to get into this. Ready to get into this word. You ready?
Definitely.
I said this word because you know we turn everything into a word.
we always get a word.
Turn everything into a word. We be like, yeah, the chicken crossed the road. But did you remember when Jesus said everything into a word? But that's a good thing because that means the gospel is in us, and it's coming out. So, man, thank you for coming on the show. Let me introduce the next one. I got my wires all across today. What's up, Miss Deidra DeNeise? What's going on?
Yeah.
You got to get off mute. I know it was good because she was laughing, but
that's good, y'all. What's good, y'all? What up, Mr. Church? What up, Dr. T? Up, happy belated and congratulations.
Yeah, definitely. Happy birthday, Dr. T.
Yeah, belated happy birthday to you.
My son said we celebrating all month long, so I'm with it.
Hey, let's get it. It's a holiday.
All right, and last but not least, we got Mr. DT Deven Tucker on with us, gospel hip hop artist who is also working on a new project right now. I ain't gonna say too much about that. He also got a book out. I don't know if y'all Lions Pride. Anyway, y'all go check him out. Make sure y'all follow him on social media because he got some stuff out too, man. Welcome to the show, Mr. DT.
My guy.
What up, bro?
What's happening, D?
Well, he be so chill. I'm here, y'all. Well, okay, so like I said earlier, this topic is such a hot topic. I believe God really want to do something with this particular thing. I mean, we preach a lot about going to get the one. You know, that's what You First is all about. Let me put that up on the screen for a minute. Yeah, You First Media Group, purpose-driven PR for gospel hip hop artists. 1 over the 99. That is our motto, guys. That is what we do. That's it. You know, we don't. There is no other focus that we have. Right here at You First Media. I mean, that's all we do. If anybody talks to me, anybody see the podcast, know everything that we do, that is the foundation. And that's what we will continue to do until we get every person like OG bro Mike said, until he got all the fishes back. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to get as many people as we can. So this book in particular, when you guys heard the title, I just want to hear from you. What was your first thoughts on this title? Think about where you are right now with your music and all that. What was your first thoughts on this title? We're going to start with DT. Put him on the spot.
Yeah, ain't no spot. Nah, I guess for me, it just brought me back to like when I first fell in love with Christ. Like that was like my initial thought. You know, what's my why and why do I do it for? And it just brought me back to, I don't know why it did, but it did. It just literally brought me back to, do you love me like when you first fell in love with me?
That's good. That's good. Deidra?
Hold on, my bad. It was kind of breaking up a little bit. When I saw the title, it brought me to a thought of motive. You know, what is your motive? What was the original intent of this journey? You know, because life would throw so much at you, man, you know, where it'll you know, derail you at times if you allow it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And at times, you know, God tries to detour you in a certain direction. So when you got the devil trying to derail you and God trying to detour you, you know, it can get kind of confusing. And sometimes you just got to go back and say, what was my original intent? What was the original motive behind this journey? So it made me check my motives when I saw the title.
Amen. Amen. Mr. Church.
And I'm really going to echo what Deidra said. It just reminded me of that, the reason why I got going at anything that God called me to. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have some discouraging days. You're going to have some days, man, where you don't really feel like doing it. You're going to quit. You're going to quit in your private time. You might even quit publicly and won't nobody even know it if they don't really know you personally. But in those moments where you quit, you know, your why is so important because that'll bring you right back in the game. You know what I mean? It's almost like an anchor. And also what I thought about was how whenever God gives you something, he gives you a blueprint. You know what I mean? God builds stuff like with so much detail, and in all that detail is your why. Everybody has a tailor-made why, and you need to figure out what that is because that'll always keep you grounded, and it'll always keep you in the game. And when life happens, you can always point back to your why, and it'll, you know what I mean? It'll rejuvenate you.
You know what's so interesting about this, and God asking me to write this, is because for a long time I struggled with what my purpose was. I didn't know why. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't identify why because I didn't yet know my purpose. And that didn't even come to full light until most recently. Like I was doing things and I was doing things with the heart to serve God and to serve his people. But I still didn't know, I didn't hone in on exactly what it was that I was supposed to be doing. Like, how was I supposed to impact? You know, when you look at other people and they walking in their passion and they so happy and all that, you see them succeeding and stuff. I felt like I didn't find that yet. You know, what was going to make me get up out of the bed? Like, I enjoy the stuff that I do, but was it the thing that I was meant to do? And this, book kind of broke down that journey. It reminded me of that journey of coming into purpose or understanding a purpose and understanding that we can't plan if we don't even know why we're doing something. We can't even take that next step if we don't know why we're doing something. So this was a personal thing between me and God that I believe God is saying is a relevant topic for right now because it's so many artists. This is so many people in general. I don't think this is just for music artists. I think the basis of it can be, but we do so many different things. You know, as a PR agent, I'm also in nursing. I'm also, you know, a writer. I do all of these different things. So how can I really be successful or really be impactful? Because that's the key here. How can I really be impactful if I don't know why I'm doing all these things? I'm not just doing it for money. I'm not just doing, and if I am, it won't last. So talk a little bit about that in your own personal journey, finding purpose in that why and where you're at in that particular journey. Because I mean, everybody's on different, you know, wavelengths. That's not a good or a bad thing, but it just shows, you know, how God can use your experiences in life to kind of get you on path. So anybody can y'all just use the finger when y'all get ready to speak.
I can start it off. That's pretty good. I'm actually, this season of my life, I am in the process of reminding myself, you know, of the why. Because life has thrown so many things, you know what I'm saying, at me, you know, and so many different types of pressures are hitting me at this moment. It's easy to forget, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to just lean to what's comfortable because I'm telling you, the path that God got you on and what he really has for you, it's not easy. It may be simple, but it's definitely not easy. You know, so I have to remind myself of the why. And when you are able to kind of look into your future, make and see the future, you can draw energy from the future into now and allow that to continue to guide you, because everyday life is gonna beat you down. So you got to be able to look out there, remember your why, and say, you know what, it's not about me. I'm going through what I'm going through to help pull somebody else out of it. I need to document this journey. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to serve, you know what I'm saying, not only God but God's people, you know what And
Yeah.
so I'm in that season of reminding myself. So when I saw that you released the book, I'm like, whoa, okay, God. You know what I'm saying? Like, here go the manual right here. You know what I'm saying? What's the lie? I gotta know.
Amen. Amen.
I love that point made. I need to get the plan if I don't know why.
Yeah. True. So true. That's the big part right there. Go ahead, D.
I think for me is not think, but I actually know. It's a lot of people dying out here. Like
Yeah.
you got people that's strung out on drugs. It's people who literally are ready to commit suicide. It's people who are self-inflicting. It's people who are dealing with some real mental battles. It's people who don't know how to deal with relationships. It's some real struggles out here. And for me, it's like at the end of the day, it's not about me. Like my why was never about me. My why was about other people.
Yeah.
Um, it's not about just like serving, but like strategically, how do I serve? What's the right way to serve? So it's like, how can I like how do I allow you to be my ears? How do I allow you to be my voice? How do I allow you to be my mouthpiece? Um, my why is an act of just submitting, putting myself to the side and allowing myself to be in somebody else's shoes. My why is a level of empathy um that creates a knowledge or peace that surpasses pretty much all understanding when it comes to figuring out who's the one and its purpose being served to that one. So that's really it. My why is pretty much, yeah, like that's what drives me for real.
Yeah.
That's deep. So let me ask this, Dr. T, because I had somebody interrupt. I don't know if y'all saw it, but I thought I got kicked off the screen. Can you repeat the question so I can make sure I can answer it right? Because I kind of got distracted.
I was just asking about where we are in our own personal journeys, because it took me a while to understand what the purpose was for me and the direction. What was God going to do with all these different resources he gave me? What was I going to do with all this that was in my hand? And understanding that came with understanding me, understanding who God called me to be, understanding the giftings and attributes and the things that people are like confused on how I can do that so well. And I'm like, how can I do it? Like the understanding, the level of discernment and all of that. Those things are the things that God put in our hands. Like before we know all of those things, we go through this process of trying to break it down in our heads and our own minds. And I'm asking, where are you in your walk on finding purpose? Have you found that why, and how are you walking in that today? Basically, that's kind of paraphrasing. I know I didn't ask it exactly the same way. Just
no, that's good. That's good. It helped me a lot. So then I know it's crazy. Is all of us are probably going to be saying some of the same stuff, but I feel like for me personally, where I'm at with my why is I know the main why, and with my life is to glorify God, right?
Mm-hmm.
But God has different avenues that He can allow you to do that, and I like that you pointed out the different things that God has gifted you to do, because I believe that God has gifted all of us the same way, with multiple ways that we can bring glory to His name, right?
Yeah.
But I think for me, and probably a lot of people going to relate to this, the more you say yes to God, the more you realize you have to die. Like, and that's where I'm at. Like, I know my why. I know the different things. I know I got a clear idea of the audience I'm called to. But I think in order for God to maximize me, my thing is getting me out the way, dying to me, and letting God just fully have control of my life. And I think that's like hard for all of us, because we really never know what that looks like. You know what I mean? We just go through and we feel like like Deidra said, we going through these tough times. And what we don't realize is that's God stripping us and purging us to get us to that place. And what's crazy is I need everybody to hear this. You never get to that place. You're always striving. It's always You always,
go.
in the moment, and when you realize that you understand when he takes something from you, when you go through some pain, and you thought you felt some success on this level, and then the rug gets snatched out from you. And you don't realize that God didn't want you to get comfortable there. You didn't do nothing wrong. The backstabbing was necessary. The walking away was necessary. All of it is because God said, no, there's more. Because you said yes on this level, and you did. You gave me a genuine guess. But God, watch this. Now I need you to come up here. Because there's people up here that I need you to impact. There's people up here that I need you to touch. There's people up here that need to see me work through you. And so that's where I'm at. Like, I'm just dying, man. If I could just be honest. I'm going through a lot. I'm going through a lot, seemingly. But I remind myself every day, I readjust my perspective, and I say, God, have your way in my life. And I say yes. And I feel like, honestly, I said this in a song. I feel like I'm losing myself, but I'm gaining more of God. And I'll take that. Because I'm losing me. The Rod that I used to know, because people know me as Rod. Now that's Mr. Church. But that means that Rod had to die somewhere. I had a whole nother artist name. That artist had to die somewhere. I had to let that dude go to get to Mr. Church. And even people don't realize that Mr. Church is dying. And then it's becoming something, what else is God gonna do? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I'm in the process of, I feel like shedding off the old skin, and I'm dying, man. A lot of stuff is dying in me. I don't got the same fight, you know what I mean? And that's good because I'm fighting different. I'm saying, okay, Daddy. All right, you see how that just played out. Now you know how I normally would react. So,
yeah. That's and that's good because there's so many. I wanted to hear from each person because there's so many layers to elevation, and this is really ultimately what we come into because we have. I'm gonna stick to the artist side of things for this show in particular. Because we're around a lot of artists, we network with artists, we work with artists. And I see a lot of artists get to a certain level and seemingly forget why they were there in the first place. And that means, it's good that when you elevate, your music sometimes changes. So the lyrics sometimes changes, but on what condition? Or is it a spiritual growth thing? I mean, there's different levels and there's different reasons why people do that. But ultimately, I'm seeing a lot of people have these sayings of I'm moving silently or I'm not connecting with people or people are doing me wrong or I've been backstabbed or the church turned its back on me and all these different things. And it's causing a language to come out that causes doubt. And what God can do through the church, through leadership, through all of these things. And y'all hear me talk about leadership a lot. And I do believe there's a lot of areas, especially in church, that we have to bring some correction and leaders got to be corrected too. I think that in all actuality that we all should be led by other leaders. It should, we don't hit the top. We all should be in a state of being teachable. Like even the leaders need a mentor.
That's good.
You know what I mean? Right. So, and that's vital. So what I want artists to get is that just because you've touched a certain level of success doesn't mean, well, I'll say it like this. Your level of success depends on how you view it, your perception of it. But it's that impact, because I believe that when we're doing music and when we're doing anything that we say we're doing for God, as vessels of God, we're looking for the impact, because God doesn't do a thing unless he finishes the thing first. So every step that we take in this building process should be a seed planted or seed watered. I mean, that's how I look at it. So I think all you guys kind of touched on that, but I want to talk a little bit more, kind of unveil a little bit more, peel back the skin a little bit more.
No, let's get real.
I think D and Mr. Church touched on this. It's the personal thing and how that your personal walk, your personal journey, and because those are the things that truly impact the ministry. Whatever you want to call it. I don't care if you rapping, you writing, you're doing all of that is ministry. So talk about the personal journey and how that can affect the impact you make on the audience that's receiving from you.
I'll go ahead and jump in. I'll jump in first. And I think a lot of stuff we hear and we don't understand the importance of it, right? Because I know on the You First Radio, the You First family, we stress relationship. We stress it, we stress it, we stress it, we stress it, right? And personally, that fine tuning that relationship, man, that thing is everything. Because we talking about music, right? So you can get all the accolades in music, right?
Yeah.
And still feel so empty.
Yeah.
You can strive and strive and strive, and man, I'm doing, because if you really commit yourself to this music, people don't realize on the outside how much it takes and pulls, and you know, you got to do this, you got to do that, and before you know it, we say this a lot: the main thing ain't the main thing, and now the main thing is an award. The main thing is climbing the charts. The main thing is doing shows, and so people are left empty.
Yeah.
People are left empty.
I'm gonna give a hook in there because I want you, D, when you take this, I want you to go into this. Because now we're talking about studio time, personal time, not just are we praying, are we building a relationship. God, you're in the process of doing something God has gifted you to do. What part of that process did you forget that you needed God in it?
There you go.
What part of that process did you turn your head to God, or you closed your ears to God? Like, what part of that process? Because I think that's very, very important. That is personal time. And when you do it because of what you can get out, onto the charts, or somebody said do this, or some of that stuff, there's an importance, there is process and stuff like that. But how important is it to still listen to God for confirmation, even on lyrics?
It's everything. That's what I'm trying to say, Dr. T. It's everything. You'll substitute, we'll get confused, and we'll confuse God's work with a relationship with God. We'll think, okay, I hit the stage, I blaze the stage, and then I go home, I take my shower, I go to sleep.
Yeah.
No, man, because I need more of you. Yeah. I need more of you, honestly, God, because what did that really do for me? Besides swell up my ego or swell up my pride. And then in the end, that's what the world sets you up for, because you'll substitute all that for God. Well, you'll get awards, and the enemy will let you do that. He'll let you get caught up in that. Going to these shows, in the awards, and you'll get on these shows and talk about how close you are with God, and God will be sitting there saying, "Man, I ain't seen you for real in 2 months."
Exactly.
I've been watching you. Right. I've been watching you, and I mean, it looks good, all the work you're doing, but me and you, we ain't talking in 2 months, because you're always in the studio. You always, and watch this. I'm speaking to myself.
Yeah.
Speaking to myself. So watch this. I'm like I said, I'm going through a season of he's stripping me, right? And I woke up one day and I felt depleted. And God said, get back to that word like you was. Don't sit back at that table like you used to, because I'm a genuine student. And when I crack that word,
you're giving out.
Right.
You ain't getting poured back in. You got to keep replenishing.
Get back to the basics. That's what he told me.
Like, I'm going to be like 100% honest, and this is just the truth. And artists have to deal with themselves when it comes to wrestling with themselves and identity and their intentions, whether their intentions are pure when they come in or not, because like the heart is the most deceitful, right? And so we about to get real. Like, a lot of times artists associate their relationship with success. Like, oh, this trophy or this status or this fan base, or like if I'm at this level at this certain amount of time, like they put a timeline on God as if God is like circled around time. No, God is outside of time. He created it. Like, you can't box God in time. He's the author and creator of time. Success was when he thought about you before he needed you in your mother's womb.
You better preach,
then he called you to the nations. That's the basics of your success. But because we don't know the basics of our success, we lose our identity and we start associating outer appearances for levels of success. We think that, oh, that's God in it because it's supposed to be a good thing. That's not always the case because what's good is not always good for you. You may not be able to handle a certain level of success because you may go ego tripping. And God said, "Nah, I called you right here because you will not be the same. You're going to change. So I called you at this level because this is the target audience, and these are the people that you're going to reach."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and
Don't
that's
we
just the
try to
truth.
outdo God? We try to outdo God. God, you said it was big. Hold up, did you break on my hand? How you gonna get it? I had posted something earlier, and it's like if it's not something you can, if it's something you can obtain yourself, it's not big enough. And I almost put it ain't God, but really, God ain't gonna give you something you can attain yourself.
Yeah.
God always give you something that's going to require you to depend on Him. So if you saying, this is the vision God gave me, then I'm going to expect some steps in between there. I'm going to say that every step is going to require a deeper level of commitment from you, a deeper level of surrender from you, because God will not call you to a place that He hasn't already prepared. You know, the people are already prepared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in order for you to get there and actually make impact, something has to be built in you. Something has to be revved up in you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have it, but are you what's the word I'm looking for? Are you growing that thing up? Are you watering it? I guess.
Can I insert something in there, Dr. T?
Go ahead.
You're never ready for the next level.
Never.
Like a lot of you, whenever God is calling you to that next level, you're never ready for it. You ain't like God saying, "Okay, I'm gonna take you somewhere. You got it figured out." Nah, some got to die.
Yeah,
that next level is gonna cost you something. Are you willing to let go of it to get to that next level? Some got to die, because if you're ready for that next level, then God, you got it. God is,
and you ain't gonna think the same way. That sacrifice ain't gonna look like sacrifice like that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody think that whatever God is calling you to let go, it ain't always gonna be easy. I'm not saying that. But your perception changes when you enter a new level. Your thought process, your ability to discern is different when you go up a level. Because if you went up a level and you didn't, conquer this level, then what are you gonna do up there? Why is God gonna call you to a different level that you're not ready for? And when you say not ready, I know that's in our human ability. You can't put stuff down, you can't make stuff happen, you can't create. You know what I'm saying? Like God has to bring you there. God
just gave me another download. He said it's like leaving middle school and going to high school. You know what I mean? When you leave middle school and you walk in that high school for real, it's like, whoa, it's bigger. The people are bigger. Right. You ain't the smartest person there. You ain't the coolest person there.
High school to college.
High school to college, right.
You're an adult now. You're an adult now.
Right.
You walk into a world, mommy and daddy can't help you on this level.
Come on.
Mommy and daddy can pay for you, your dorm, whatever you need, what have you, but they are not responsible to help you get through school. That's on you. You're an adult now. So from middle school to high school, there's a transition. And from high school to college, there's a transition. But where does the transition happen first?
In the mind, definitely. Yeah.
The same place the devil play with. The same place that the devil play with.
Yeah.
So every level requires a new devil. It's gonna be, you gonna be met with one. You gonna be the thing is, how will you handle it? How do you see him? How will he affect you in this way now? Because he never changes tricks. He never changes the playbook. We just keep going in these cycles and we forget, this happened the last time. But I'm about to respond the same way. I ain't breaking it. Come on, D. Go ahead.
Now that's what babes do. Babes in Christ respond the same way because they don't know no better. They gotta be pampered. They used to being catered a certain way. That's why like they go to the same accountability partner that's going to tell them the same thing to make them feel good. There is no conviction.
Mm.
So when it comes to the relationship and growth, they reach a growth, spurt or like it's just stunt their growth, or they become spiritual cripples. They don't know how to eat meat. They haven't grown any teeth yet. They still want applesauce. They don't know what it's like. They just like, I just want milk and honey because it tastes good. It
But
sounds
they
good.
think they there already. But they
Yeah,
think they operating on that level already.
they feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Come on, Deidre.
You gon'
I know
think you
got
gon'
something
think you
on
there
that.
when you feel good, but let some conviction hit.
Yeah.
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 Then it's like, oh, don't tell me what. Let somebody tell you no.
The
Let
truth
somebody
coming out
tell
the
you
door.
that working ain't right. Something is missing. Something is missing. And that's another thing. When correction is brought,
Yeah.
how you handle it lets you know where you're at.
Yeah.
How you handle correction, not even somebody badgering you or anything, like anybody on any level, correcting you or encouraging you to do something a little different than what you've been doing, and how you handle that. That don't mean you got to listen to everybody. I just mean because I know when I know my why, can't nobody move me from that. You can say what you want about what I'm doing. You can say what you want about how God not using me. You can say what you want to say, but I'm going to keep going because I'm so focused on the why. I'm so focused on the purpose. Like I can't be moved off of that. And it wasn't until now, in this season where I said I got real solid on that. Because before I could listen to somebody and I tweak things and I do things, and not saying that I don't need a mentor or need nobody to tell me what I need to do or give me advice. But what I'm saying, I know what to take and what not to take.
Yeah.
When you know your why, you know the why not. It ain't got nothing to do with you.
Come on.
You get what I'm saying? Anyway,
I'm learning
we're gonna
a lot
take a
about
quick
myself
break.
too. As far
Go ahead, Dita. We was waiting on you. Go ahead.
oh, my bad. Oh no, I was gonna say one other way you can tell what level you on is how you respond in that waiting period. I'm in this hold. You know what I'm saying? Where God is like, I want you to wait, and I'm just like, now, Lord. It's almost like being in that double dutch rope. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, how you wait? I might be quiet, but am I silent in my spirit? Am I settled in my spirit?
Yeah.
I might be chill on the outside, but I'm anxious and I'm worried and I'm doubtful and I'm fearful on the inside. So he's showing me my level just in this waiting period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I might know my reason why I want to go down a certain lane. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, I wait to hear God. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes he might take 3 days just so you can see you waiting. Lord, I've been fasting 26 hours. Like, you ain't talked to me yet. Wait.
Yeah.
He'll say one word that'll change your whole life. So I'm just like, I'm checking myself on how I wait in this season, man. I just want to grow.
That's good.
Yeah, I like that. Well, y'all take a beat. Second, we're gonna take a beat. We're gonna take a quick break and do some transitioning. But we're gonna be right back with more on this topic. This is a major topic. Again, like I told y'all before, we cannot say all of this in one time. This is Never Forget Why, recently released on Amazon. Y'all rated #1 on the hot new releases in Christian gospel music and now in gospel music. All right, so that's 2 different categories. So y'all make sure y'all check that out if you have not done so. Make sure y'all do that. Again, go on social media, like You First Media Group, follow us. We have a purpose and we are driven by that purpose when we do PR for gospel hip hop artists, man. It's 1 over the 99, man. And we are serious about that foundation. That is why we do what we do, because we have been the one. We're going to be right back after this. We're going to take a quick music break. And we'll be right back after this. This is my boy T1, man. Y'all stay locked. Y'all can go ahead and share the show. We still got a few more minutes left. Y'all come back with us.
I had a dream of me doing better.
It's a mystery.
Better.
Really made.
I don't wanna hurt no more. I don't wanna cry no more. I don't wanna live my truth. I don't wanna lie no more. I don't wanna live my life. I don't wanna die no more. I don't wanna live for Christ. I don't wanna live for folks. I don't wanna hurt no more. I don't wanna cry no more. I don't wanna live my truth. I don't wanna lie no more. I don't wanna live my life. I don't wanna die no more. I don't wanna live for Christ. I don't wanna live for folks. I had a dream of me doing better. I had a dream of me doing better. I had a dream of me doing better. I think I owe me a love letter. I don't wanna be broke no more. Hurt from the church no more. I see me doing better. I see me doing better. Yeah. Please don't wake me up because I'm dreaming. I'm trying my best to fight these demons. Don't know I hate you for no reason. From me, dog, I'm praying for your season. Favor all on me, God look over me. Wow. I came up from that, now you wanna hate on me. Wow. I remember standing outside with no rain outside. Drought. You don't need marry with me, but you wanna hang with me. Cloud. I got the mojo. I got no gang, I am solo. I put the game in a choco. I might pull up in a one door. Please do not play with me, no. I wipe the snot out of your nose. I swear I've been at it for so long, so it's only right that I shine on. Please don't take away my dream. Please don't take away my dream. Please don't take my dream away. I done sacrificed it all. I gave everything. Yeah, and I be if for stop me. No, I don't wanna hurt no more. I don't wanna cry no more. I don't wanna live my truth. I don't wanna lie no more. I don't wanna live my life. I don't wanna die no more. I don't wanna live for Christ. I don't wanna live for folks. I had a dream of me doing better. I had a dream of me doing better. I had a dream of me doing better. I think I owe me a love letter. I don't wanna be broke no more. Hurt from the church no more. I see me doing better. I see me doing better. I didn't wanna pay my child support on time. Yeah, I don't even care to make a lot of money, no lie. Hey, I just wanna see my mama happy before she died. They sent my daddy to an island, and I ain't talking about my deadbeat. No disrespect, but you wildin'. Before my mama died, she looked me dead in my eyes and apologized. I told my mama, don't worry, baby, dry your eyes, you should fly. She said, don't disrespect your mom. And she wasn't talking about us, cause she said her son was someone else. You don't need know my pain, you don't need know my struggle. If you don't know my story, please don't judge my hustle. 17, I was on the block. I got a call that my bro was shot, and then another call, then another call, then another call. It's a lie, but I see me doing better now. 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 See us all doing better now. Doing better now.
That was T1. Comeback Kid, the Comeback Kid. That is a really, really good friend of mine right out here, Jacksonville, Florida. Now we really friends. This guy's been through so much. When I first met him, he came performed at a party for me, and we have been locked in since then. But this guy, what makes him so amazing at what he does is he is very transparent in his music. He tells the story like it is, and he's not afraid of the kickback from it. And he's always been like that through a lot of his music. He recently released Pain and Passion EP. So you guys go ahead and check that out. That's that if y'all ready for it, go ahead and check it out. He said if you ain't ready for it, don't get it. But it's a hot mixtape, and I love it. Y'all go check him out, man. And shout out to my boy T1, Pastor T1 of Transparency Church, man. Y'all go check him out in Atlanta. All right, we back right here live on Beyond the Beat. This is your girl, Dr. T. I'm on with Mr. Church, Deven Tucker, DT and Deidra DeNeise. What's good, y'all?
Yeah.
What's that?
All right. We do that because that's how we do on the radio show.
Right.
But okay, so we've been talking about the newly released book right here, Never Forget Why. This is a recent release this past Wednesday. It is available on Amazon, so y'all make sure y'all go check that out. I'm switching between screens, so y'all bear with me. But y'all go make sure y'all check that out. Not only for me, guys, I want y'all to really get what God gave me in this season. I think it was good for me, so I know it's gonna be good for you. I'm still eating on it. I'm still chewing on it. So definitely go out and get that. Leave a review. Tell me how it blessed you. Tell me what it made you think about. Tell me how it made you go back a little bit and seek God on another level. So y'all, I want to hear those testimonies. I want to know what y'all thought about it. And we're gonna keep continuing this conversation because, again, like we said earlier, we all need mentors. We all need to have these conversations. We cannot arrive at a place. We will never get to that arrival place where we feel like we have arrived. But if you do feel like you arrived, you really need to go back. You really need to go back.
Right.
All right.
You're in a bad place.
So the time is really just sped up on us. So we got about 10 more minutes here. So I want you guys to think about some last minute thoughts that you really want to present for this particular topic on this particular show as it relates to never forgetting your why. Give us some encouragement, some things the listeners need to leave with and ponder on. I'm gonna let you go, D.
I think it's or Deidra DeNeise. I'm gonna say it's important to never forget your why because it's not about you. At the end of the day, we're here to serve. We're here to serve God. We're here to serve God's people. You know, the very issue that you are working to get out of could be the very issue your child finds themselves in. You know, what you need to be the change, be the example that you need in this season. You know, what coach are you looking for? You know what I'm saying? Be that coach that you're looking for, you know, and then you'll start to see change. Never forget your why. Your why is going to be the thing that motivates you and continues to push you and energize you when you feel depleted of your natural strength. So never forget your why.
I love that. Deven, DT.
You know what it is. Listen, if you don't know your why, it's okay. Because accepting it is the first step. Now it's a matter of allowing God to help you understand your why. But don't go through this life just passing your why by, because that's not good. That's not healthy. And so, me personally, I tell you to just go get the book. Go get the book. Get healthy. It's healthy food. It's soul food. It's got all your vitamins and nutrients in it. You know, it's not just talking about, you know, the problems, but there's like real life solutions in the book. Go get the why book. Understand your why. If you don't know, at least have some instructions on how to get to your why on your personal journey. Because can't nobody figure out your why but you and God, you know?
Yeah.
And so again, it's okay if you don't, you know, understand, you know, why it looks like or why it's supposed to be what it's supposed to be. But a lot of times it's not for you to figure out. You weren't born here by yourself. There's a reason why. And then the whole source is to go to the source of why. So get the book, get to the source, get connected, stay connected. That's my take on it.
I mean, I don't even think I need to say nothing else. He said, no, but I'm gonna give you a foundational principle, a thing that I found in the Word of God, and it blessed me. God said that we were created to give Him glory, because a lot of times we wonder, man, why am I here on earth? You know, especially in the beginning of the process, you wonder why am I here? To give God glory. Now, like D said, DT, you can see God and He can expound on that why. And when He expounds on that why, He'll give you the how.
Mm-hmm.
So notice that was a great starting point for me to, okay, my why is because I'm created to give Him glory.
Yeah.
He gave me some more details in the why, and then He showed me how. And now I'm doing that how. You know what I mean? And I'll continue to do that how, and even that'll change. Don't be afraid to allow God to change how He wants you to give Him glory. It may be doing music today. Tomorrow it could be preaching. The next day it could be on the back of a trash truck.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
A lot of times we get stuck in what he told us 2 years ago. We don't realize that when you drop the ball, God said he got plans. Plans, plural. So God already told us the why, foundational why, and that's to give him glory. Seek him, he'll expound on that and he'll show you how. That's why I want to leave.
And I want to encourage everybody with all that was said that don't try to figure it out by yourself. This is not something that you just sit down one day, read a book and say, oh, yeah, that's my why. This book is going to inspire you and empower you to seek God on a whole different level. And it's not about just understanding the thing of why or the thing of purpose. You know what I mean? It is about understanding you. Who have you been created to be? What were you created with? What were you already equipped with? You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that God will use. Your experiences and all of that. Your purpose will reveal your why. You know, every level that you go up, there may be a different why. There's levels to that. But to go back to your initial purpose will help you on each level that you go up. You're going to go, it's going to say the same thing. It's going to bring you right back around. Now mine, okay, I know that I'm out to get the one. Why? Because I was the one. God had to remind me where I was. God consistently takes me back. And one of the major things he did is me being an entrepreneur. The last thing you want to do is go back to work for somebody else. Right. And God placed me in a position not to work for somebody else, but because I took a contract and they were using me a lot. So, and I was loving the money. So I'm like, you know, I started getting comfortable back in that spot. And I was like, hold up a minute. You know, I don't work for you. You know, like you start getting all demanding and stuff. Wait a minute. You know, I had to remember who I was, but God told me I was speaking to a young lady one night that I hadn't spoke to in a long time. And I was actually being nosy, you know, on another end. And I had to come up with a reason. Yeah, I told her Field. I had to come up with a reason why I was down there. So I said I was looking for this particular young lady. And I go back to my side, you know, and then all of a sudden this lady comes over to me and I'm like, oh, shoot, now I got to come up with something to say, you know? So I'm like, oh, girl, I was just seeing how you was doing, you know? I had no clue she was working that night and no clue. So I was just seeing how you was doing. So she gets to talking like, and I'm thinking about back in the day when I used to talk. You know how you talk to people and you encourage them, but then you got to do the same thing the next day. Because they really just want to feel good for the moment. So they come to you feel good for the moment. So I was doing that. Yeah. So I found myself in that process. And during that conversation, I could tell she wasn't listening to nothing I was saying. Her response let me know that. And then I had one of them zone out moments, you know, they have it in the movies where the person's still talking, but they look like they just moving their mouth and you talking to God like, why the heck am I in this You're like, God, why? And I said, why am I back here? Why am I started getting upset because I'm like, God didn't tell me to go back. I went back because it was going to give me some money, you know? So at that moment, I said, God, why am I here? He said, I didn't bring you back for them. I brought you back for you. He had to remind me of the place where I found him, like truly found him. He had to remind me how he used me at that point and how people viewed me, because that was going to be important in the people that he was assigning to me at this level. So in order to operate and really make an impact on this level, he had to bring me back to why he put those things inside of me in the first place. I had forgotten those because for years I'm sitting there going through processes. I'm getting hurt. I'm being broken. I'm doing, and all that breaking was making me. The decisions I'm thinking I'm making, God is allowing things to happen because he said, go ahead, baby. You're going right where I want you to go. Go ahead. You're going right where I want you to go. And me not knowing, I'm just following what makes, you know, that's going to make life better for me. But God orchestrated and had this planned out the whole time. That's how much he loves you.
Wow.
But in
That's
order not
so
to
good.
be controlled by a false truth or a false narrative of your situation, how it currently is, choose to seek God for wisdom and understanding about that place, because I can guarantee you is a part of his plan. And I can guarantee you it's all to take you back to a place where you will not forget why he pushed you there in the first place. You were not successful for no reason. You were not in a position where you got in the industry door with multiple people. You weren't just placed in that position for no reason. You weren't, your name wasn't in the mouths of people you didn't know nothing about, for no reason. Your picture didn't come up for no reason. Like, God has a purpose and a plan, but it ain't got nothing to do with just you. It's bigger than you.
Right.
Our purpose is something that we can't obtain by ourselves. Why just reminds us why we got to get up in the morning. And if my why excites me and it pushes me to do, people ask me all the time, you're not tired? You got a lot of stuff going on. I can't get tired. I can't stop. It's not a natural energy. It's a spiritual energy. Like, I can't explain that. No, I go to sleep, I get up, and I go to sleep thinking about what I'm doing tomorrow. I go to sleep thinking about a building, thinking about people, thinking about atmosphere, thinking about shifting, thinking about all these different things. It ain't got nothing to do with me, but how can I position God's people to receive something from him? Because my why is to go get the one. My why is to go get the one. So everything that I do, the very breath that I breathe is because of why. I was the one. Had nobody came and got me, I would not be in the place that I am today. Had nobody came and got me, I wouldn't be assured of where I'm going. I wouldn't be assured that God loves me. I wouldn't be assured that I got something to do. I got greater purpose.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than us. Bigger than us. And I'm out of breath. Not a breath.
That's real.
I'm telling y'all, this
was a relief.
book, it was so good. I'm getting old, y'all. It was so good. So very good to me. As I was writing it, the anointing was just flowing. When I say it didn't take me no time. It just took me a long time. I'm a perfectionist. I was editing a lot, but it was a good process, and I'm glad God chose me to go through it. I'm glad that he used me, the vessel, but I could not have been used like that had I not been in position to receive from God. And that is why I always remember my why. That's what pushes me. That's what motivates me. And that's why I'm not tired. I get tired like a normal person does, but it doesn't put me to sleep on the goals and doesn't put me to sleep on what God has called me to do.
Nah, see, ain't no normal. We ain't normal. Ain't no normalcy. Nah, and that's just being real. Like, we built different. Like, real talk. Like, many are called, and the few
we're chosen.
Nah, like, we chosen, and the chosen, we built different. We sleep different. We talk different. We act. That's why the world can't stand. I could care. You religious? Get on my. I kick rocks. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because we built different. I'm not meant to look like you. I'm not meant to be like the world. You won't get it until you understand what it's like to have a real relationship with the Father, and that goes for the people who so-called claim that they Christians. Y'all just a many. And I have, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. And I'm going to speak how I speak, and I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to be bold in it because that's my daddy, and I represent him well. Yes. Period. He got royal DNA. I got royal DNA. So I'm supposed to perceive and think how he's supposed to perceive and think. It ain't my fault you can't find him because you don't want to build a relationship. Like, I'm supposed to lower myself to you.
I hear
no. How about you build yourself up and we connect together and grow together instead of just saying, nah, whatever. Okay, then it's gonna be no, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You are still stuck in a childlike mind. You still a babe, so you're gonna think like a babe. Well, over here, we elevating. We elevating. We don't care about you. Still stuck on glory and look at what God is doing. No. How about just focusing on the relationship and abiding in Christ?
Yeah.
Too distracted by goals and this and that. That's cool. But at the end of the day, what's the depart from me, Pharisees, workers of iniquity.
Yeesh.
That's his favorite scripture, y'all. I promise y'all, that's his favorite. that's his why. Now he remember that scripture. Why? Because Jesus said, that will keep you on your toes, but not because we grew up in that fearful mindset. If we don't do this, we don't do that, we definitely going to hell, and that's why we abide by what God said, but we still didn't do it. But when you got them in you, just like he said, you built different. When God called you, you answer different. You obey different. It's not something you have to be made to do. There's a lot of people that can't understand why some people can say yes, why some people can refuse to do anything other than live for God. That don't mean perfection at all. That doesn't mean perfection because we are human, but that does mean that we don't make the excuses that most people make. Go ahead, Church. Because I feel like
you get different results when you're driven by fear versus driven by love.
That's true.
When you're driven by the love of Christ, then nothing is too much. Whatever he asks of you is not too much to do. You know what I mean? The long nights, the early mornings, I think I said that wrong, but nothing that God asks of you is too much. But when you're driven by fear, you're just trying to do enough.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to do enough. You know what I mean? But
if you're lazy in your everyday life, you're gonna be lazy with what God gives you. I mean, I see that as a trend. Like, you don't get up, and jump to do what God called you to do, and you ain't jumping to get up because you don't see purpose in the thing that he gave you. Like, for instance, with that job, I didn't get up and jump for the job because I didn't see purpose in it. I didn't see what they had to do with why I was here. You know what I'm saying? But when God showed me, why and the purpose behind it, I got up. I straightened up. I ironed my uniform. I talk different. I move different. I'm serious. I moved differently. And what happened? God began to elevate me, not in the place necessarily, but in my mind. So when I talk, I didn't talk like them because I used to like to remind people, you can be here. I don't have to be here. I had to remind them, that they weren't on the same level. Like, what was that doing? That was giving me some sort of clout.
You want to know what it is, Dr. T? I'm gonna tell you what it is. They love us when you just a mustard seed, when you just a seed in the dark, and you ain't. They look at you. They're like, oh, they ain't doing nothing. They just being still. Mm-hmm. They love you when you getting rooted.
Yeah.
But when you start to sprout and you start connecting with the sun, and you start getting some little leaves, then all of a sudden
you came from where we came from.
Then look, hear me out. They want to rain on your parade.
Exactly.
Don't know that the water gonna make you grow.
Woo! Woo! I said that to an artist one time. Who was that? Oh gosh. Young lady. I said this to her one time. She was talking about crying over something. It was a situation that was going on. And I said, God had downloaded at that very moment. He said the tears watered the seed. So the things that you think are breaking you and harming you, God had to squeeze you in order to get the tears to fall. And if the tears wouldn't have fallen, the seed wouldn't have been watered. The breaking, the tears, the pain, all of that is necessary. But watch this. When Jesus gave the okay for the enemy to mess with Job, he said, but you can't kill him. You can mess with, you can't kill him though. Do you really think God will position you to be broken by another person so much so that it kills you? No. You got to trust him. You got to trust him. There's purpose in every single thing that you go through. And if we seek God for that purpose on every single level, you'll find a peace that he keeps talking about where he says passes all understanding. You're not worried about looking to your left or your right. You're focused on what God purposed for you to do, and your why makes you zone in.
Good.
And when you zone in, you take off like it ain't nobody's business. That's when you're gonna have people like, well, where's she going? What's she doing? And it ain't gonna bother you. Why? Because you're gonna be too high up to hear it.
Yeah. For those who don't know what she's talking about being mature in the faith. That's when you are actually a child of God and not a babe of Christ.
You better stop it, DT. Stop it, DT.
I'm just trying to teach people, how to stop being spoon fed.
I love it though. It is necessary. We over time, y'all. I know that this was gonna be a good topic, and we was actually just heating up. So but I want y'all to take this conversation, take the nuggets and stuff, go back and rewatch it. Make sure y'all like and share it, and make sure y'all go get the book. Never forget why. Look at the title, look at the picture. Listen, y'all notice what the picture is here. Outer space.
Yes.
Something that's not seen on the surface. Your why is bigger than what you've been through. Your why is bigger than what you can see. Your why is bigger than what you can change yourself, your situations, and all of those things. Those things reveal why you're doing what you're doing and the purpose that's behind it. So y'all stay encouraged. Y'all got any last words, co-host crew?
I do. Like, share, comment, follow, subscribe. I'm gonna say it again for you. If you
get the book.
I said like, share, comment, subscribe. Go get that book. You know what it is. It's You First Media. We stay slapping devils.
We ought to get the one. That is our motto right here at You First Media, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, and follow us, the whole group, the whole media group, man. Listen, it's You First Media Group, purpose-driven PR for gospel hip-hop artists. And I should say industry professionals, too. We got the Raw Hip Hop Conference coming out, the Raw Hip Hop Con. Man, y'all will hear more about that very, very soon. Until then, I want y'all to stay linked up with us. See what we got going on. Every show that we do, every podcast that we do is revealing something else that we got going on in the background, and y'all do not want to miss. We are linked up with so many different organizations. I am the GM of KJO Records. We got some major things happening there. Fan Fest and all of that info will be coming out very soon. So y'all make sure y'all stay locked.
Stay locked.
Follow us. Follow us.
I don't want to see not a nail, not a key.
What?
Said not a nail, not I ain't got
to keep it locked. Not
y'all
one
heard
key.
what my dog said.
Like, you know how people be trying to sneak in with the key, trying to get access. You ain't got access yet.
It might go in, but it ain't
locked.
gonna turn it. It ain't gonna turn it. Listen, if y'all want to be featured on this podcast on Beyond the Beat, y'all make sure y'all go email your EPK. Please email your EPK. Do not text me or do not message me. I don't care if we're friends. Okay? Like, I really need to say that. I really need to say that. Okay? I love you guys. But I don't do the I'm in with Dr. T, so let me go on and sneak in on it. That's not how this works. You actually have to go BTB Pod Live, BTB Pod Live at gmail.com. BTB Pod Live at gmail.com. Make sure you email your current EPK. If you do not have an EPK, please let me know that. Do not just let me know that. I'll tell you what items I need. Don't send your whole life, okay? All right. So I love you guys. If you want to be featured again, send your music, send everything over to BTB Pod Live, and we will go through each submission and decide from there whether we're gonna feature you on the show. Please, again, do not message me about this. This goes through a proper system. I want you guys to get this, because I work with artists all the time, and professionalism is key. Get you some representation. Okay, get you some representation when you're talking to media and when you're wanting to, get some things out there promoted and stuff like that. It is not based on, just a friendship or anything. So y'all might as well don't even try to get next to me if that's what y'all want. Okay. All right. I love you guys, but do this the right way. All right. So also any features for the You First radio show, make sure that you are emailing. I don't forgot to email already. YouFirstRadio@gmail.com. I think I said that right. YouFirstRadio@gmail.com. So if not, I'll correct that on the page, guys. But I love you guys to life. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you go get the book, man. Never forget why. It's very important. I want you guys to be at the top of your game at all levels, man. On the top of your game. Go out and get the book, man. We love y'all so much. I love this crew, man. But I'm going to get ready to take them off camera because DT is acting up and he got both of them cracking up. So we're going to go ahead and do this. This is actually one from DT, man. This is a free release, man. And he did it just for y'all, man. So y'all, this is story time for DT. We'll catch y'all again next Friday, man.
Peace, y'all.
On the floor, still dirty. No hygiene, I was musty, unclean, funky. Digging in the garbage with them junkies. I was hungry in high school for the lonely. Teacher all up on me, kids talking about Sony. I was thinking about money, first felony like hush, don't speak. As I pray on the week, getting bread cause I gotta eat. On the east side of the D, throwing up C, 6 Mile GD, blue flag Kennedy. You know how the youngin' be, pocket full of misery, memories. Welcome to my story, this is Deven Tucker history. I'm supposed to be, at least 6 feet. Walking out of Wayne County, G.O.D. done got the youngin' free. Ask my mom, I know it's hard to see. I done salted off from coat to tree. I done put it down, R.I.P. Literally, nah, I drip sauce, kinda like every week. Faith on flick, got the devil like key. Cause it is what it is, I'm where I'm supposed to be. I give him glory, honesty, loyalty, spoiled me royalty. Unworthy, but mercy got me casting crowns at his feet. Like, I remember when I was doing down and bad. I remember when I was hurting. Nobody cared, but the ones that was there for me, man, y'all still here to this day. Y'all my A1 from day one, man. I love y'all. Thank you for having my back, man. For real. From the mitten, I was cooking in the kitchen, hands itching, money stacking. I'm packing, ready for action. No matter what happens, we get it cracking. If you lack, stop slacking. I got no time to rewind, sit back or recline, so I incline the divine. Rolling through the grapevine, little light of mine, let it shine, leave the devil blind. When I grind, you gon' see them sparks flying. I can hear the birds crying, even when the sun shine. I remember sleeping outside, got a heart full of pride. Welcome to these soul ties with a life full of lies. Hypnotized, memorized, couldn't even recognize. I was caught up in the mix, still eating Five Guys. Everybody roll cake, but can't divide the pie. So I supersized large fries, kill the flesh, suicide.